Bridget Mackay. I'm an attorney, and this video blog series, I work in the area of elder law and with people who are aging and children of parents who are aging. And I'm doing a series now regarding cautionary tales in dealing with your elder, and how many out there, I know I can't see you raise your hand, have had issues with their elder, or you're older and you're still driving. Driving is one of the biggest issues that comes around for an aging person and children with an aging parent who is driving. When do you tell them to stop? When do they stop driving if you're the aging person? You want to drive as long as possible because that is your source in this society of independence. As a child of aging parents who are driving, you don't want to suggest that they stop driving and then you're the cause of them not being independent. A lot of thorny issues for families around driving, but let me give you my cautionary tale. It's a story about Bob and Helen. Bob and Helen were in their 80s. Helen never got a driver's license. They lived in a small town and she was able to get around as she needed, and if she didn't, Bob would drive her where she needed to go. Especially after retirement, they were always together and Bob always drove. One day, Bob and Helen were driving, or let me back up. Bob had a couple of infractions in driving, but he kind of kept that on the down low and secret from his kids, and DMV never pulled his license. So they're out driving, and these infractions were kind of running red lights or making a left-hand turn on red, things like that. Never causing an accident, though. They're out driving, and he gets distracted and hits two sixth graders in a crosswalk, not right near a school, but within a mile of school or half mile of school. These kids were walking home. The kids survived. They went in the hospital. They had some broken limbs that healed. But here is Bob with now a criminal case on his hands, and very, very upsetting for both of them. He was charged with reckless driving, a criminal allegation causing injury, which was a misdemeanor, but it's still serious for an older couple who have perfect records otherwise. The family was very upset. Clearly his license was taken away. They couldn't cope with any insurance, and they determined him incapable of driving any longer. The sad thing is it costs a lot of money and drains a lot of their savings for any future care that they would need because of deteriorating health or mental capacity. And at the end of the day, they had nothing. They ended up selling their house to care for them, they eventually ended up in assisted living, and then more care in a nursing home, and it sucked up all of their saving and their children's savings. They were never the same again. And I want to tell you today, that's not worth it. But what do? As an elder, just be honest with yourself. There are so many resources out there now to get you to the grocery store, to the theater, to the movies. And it's affordable. There are plenty of not just taxis, but systems of buses that transport elders around town and to things that you want to do. It may curtail your independence a little bit, but it's far better than finding yourself in Bob's position. For children of older parents, stay on it. Get in the car and drive with them. Have frank conversations with them about their driving, despite the repercussions of it you think may happen to your relationship, because it's going to be far better than what Bob and Helen went through. And ultimately, if they're still resistant, you can write a letter to the DMV and you have to sign a form, but whoever ratted them out to the DMV will remain anonymous to them. So you can anonymously report their bad driving and your concerns to the DMV, and they will not know that it was you who did it. So you have a lot of options. Avoid being Bob and Helen. Avoid having your parents be Bob and Helen, and keep an eye on your elders.